Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it, ready to have some fun. So today we're going to dive into, these are my 7 whiskeys that I'm hunting for over the next several months, or let's just call it over this spring period that's coming up. So just 7 whiskeys that I'm hunting for, mix of bourbon and rye, and really excited. Hopefully we'll have a chance to get a couple of these, if not all 7, but they're ones I think for the most part that, you know, with a little bit of work put in, more than likely all of us should be able to get at least 2 or 3 of these, if not more than that. Cool? All right. And for today, you guys know me, the way I rock and roll. We're never going to have a nice, let's call it open dialogue session here without a little bit of whiskey in my glass. I'm actually sipping a little bit of, this is a Nulu finished in honey. So sipping on a little something right now as we speak. Let me get a little bit more of this. That is amazing. All right. I feel like Oprah. That is amazing. And that is amazing. But that's pretty damn good. All right. So the first one, and we should add to the list. I'm going to nose this bad boy as well. It comes from my one of the distilleries that I really enjoy a lot, Sagamore Distillery. They recently released their Reserve release, which is a essentially a rye whiskey finished in South American rum and then also Jamaican rum barrels. So Jamaican and South American rum barrels. That's going for about $80. It literally just released, so it's actually being sent out to stores across the US, so you can definitely find it probably over the next couple of weeks. Give it some time to get to your local stores. It's getting out there. Again, it's about an $80 bottle. They do have their own Whiskey Thief program for like their Whiskey Thieves members. So if you belong to that, if you sign up, you can actually order the bottle online. I'm going to do that myself as well, but I did want to call that one out there. So Sagamore Spirits. Again, they're rye whiskey finished in Jamaican and South American rum barrels. That just sounds delicious. And I can't wait to try it also. All right, next we have coming up, which is Booker's. So the Booker's is coming up in spring of 2022. So if you think back to last year, they had the Bardstown batch, and they also had the No Strangers batch as well. Both were very solid picks, by the way, and solid bottles. I really enjoyed of those two, really, probably the most. The Bardstown, I really enjoyed that one. Honestly, over the last couple of years, I always kind of felt like the Bookers were pretty decent, but the Bardstown, well, both of those last year, but especially the Bardstown, really was top notch. So I'm really looking forward to the 2022 release, which is called Booker's Fred's Pick. So that is the one that's coming out in 2022, at least coming out sooner than later in spring of 2022. That one, as we all know, it typically goes about $90, but with like tax and so forth, you're typically pushing closer to $100, unless you get it in my state where there is, of course, no tax. All right, so that is for Booker's coming out in spring. Oh man, that smells so damn good. Next up on the list, we have Maker's Mark BRT 01 and 02. So this is the next expression from the wood finishing series. When you think back to last year, we had FAE 01 and FAE 02, which were both fantastic bottles. So this is the wood finishing series. They're kind of picking up with that. BRT, obviously 01 will be the one that's out in spring. So that will be the one that's coming out soon. I will say it has not actually fully released as of yet, but they did pull their label permit. So that's published. The label permits are out there. So you know how it goes. If the label permits are published, it's coming out pretty much. I mean, it's coming out. So again, be on the lookout for BRT 01 probably in the next like month or two here. Again, those wood finishing series are typically about $70 to $75, just kind of depending on where you live and so forth. It might be a couple of dollars less or a couple of dollars more. And if you're a fan of the Maker's FE 01 or 2, it's definitely worth trying to get this BRT 01 that's coming out here in the next couple of months. That's for our Maker's friends. All right, I need a little bit more of this bad boy. Whew, not bad. All right, so if you watch my live stream, my last one with the Foregate, Bob and I, we kind of discussed this one. So batch 18 from Foregate, also known as Saint Laurent, that is coming out actually here in the next couple weeks. So batch 18 from Foregate is coming out. Batch 18 is essentially is 7-year-old bourbon finished in cognac barrels, so French cognac barrels. So the French name, obviously, and I'll do a full review on this once I get a bottle as well. But batch 18, 7-year-old Kentucky bourbon, finished in cognac barrels. So batch 18 is coming out very soon. As we know, with 4-gate, you typically can find 4-gate in 6 different states. So you have Kentucky, Indiana, Louisiana, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas. They are expanding to new states this year, but the easiest thing, honestly, just go right online. I always get most of my bottles from Sealbox. There's a couple other places as well, such as like Bourbon Outfitters and Caskers, but Sealbox to me has always worked, no issues. So if I'm going to recommend one, I'm going to recommend Sealbox just because I've used it before myself. Cool? All right, that's 4-gate batch 18. Can't wait to try that bad boy. Kentucky bourbon finished in cognac barrels. Sounds delicious. Absolutely delicious. All right, let me get a little bit more of this bad boy real quick here. Not bad. All right, next we have coming from Tennessee. I had to do that one. The master distiller, Victoria Butler. Ms. Butler is just doing her thing down at Uncle Nearest. They're really growing and expanding. So this will be the first time they are officially releasing their own whiskey, meaning that they distilled it, they aged it, and they bottled it, all by Uncle Nearest. And what are they producing? What's coming out? What's new, Bourbon Judge? Essentially, what's new are 2 different things. This will be the first time they're releasing their single barrel cask strength whiskey, which will also be released not just at the distillery. Historically, they've always released that, but it was only released at the distillery. This time, this will actually be available out in stores, as well as the single barrel cask strength bourbon goes along with the single barrel rye. So for the first time, they're producing a rye whiskey as well. So that is coming out. Now, they didn't give it an exact time frame, but it is coming out earlier this year. So definitely be on the lookout for those 2 new products from Uncle Nearest. They're definitely doing their thing. Really excited for them, and can't wait to try these different single barrel the whiskey as well as the rye. Cool. All right. Next, we have the Penelope Architect series. Ooh. The Penelope Architect series. So in short, we all understand that Penelope is sourcing their whiskey actually from MGP, but what they're doing with this specific batch is they're actually finishing it with French oak staves. So they collaborated with Rideau from France to actually kind of partner with them to get these actual French oak staves. So the bourbon is aged in these French oak stave barrels, and should be completely different from what they're saying. Is really kind of changing the game. So really looking forward to this one. They didn't give an exact price. However, what they, when you think about Penelope, most of their products are always, they're really fair, anywhere like $60, $70, $80 range. So my guess, and I say fair, I know that's a little bit more expensive, but it's not breaking like $100 at least, right? So my guess is, even though we don't know the exact price for this Architect series, my guess is it's probably going to be in that $60 to $80 range. Again, that's for the Penelope Architect series, which is, by the way, going to release actually on April 1st. And I promise you that it's not an April Fool's Day. It really is supposed to release on actually April 1st. Cool? Cool. All right. Hey, real quick, 3 quick and easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know of all these so far, which one are you guys looking forward to hopefully picking up. And then last but not least, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notifications each and every time I put out content. Cool? Cool. All right. Last but not least, number 7, coming from Lux Row Distillery, is Blood Oath Pack number 8. Yes, Blood Oath Pack number 8. Also coming out in April of 2022, so just another month away. Typically from an MSRP for Blood Oath, it's typically about a $100 bottle, maybe like $110. And this year's release is actually finished in Calvados barrels. So you'll have the whole Calvados experience, typically a little bit sweeter, kind of adds a lot of sweet notes to the bourbon. But yeah, so Blood Oath Pack number 8 coming out next month, $110 bottle, finished in Calvados barrels. So there's a lot that's coming out in early 2022. Be on the lookout. Let me know, again, in the comments, which of these bottles are you interested in finding yourself? And hey, hopefully it's some great whiskey hitting the streets. Until the next time, my friends, Peace, cheers, salute. I appreciate each and every one of you. Later.